The lamp in the living room flickers, casting shadows that dance across the walls. Marina clutches the diary with trembling hands, its yellowed pages smelling of damp earth. A scrawled sentence on the final page stops her heart. "You've been here for days." Silence swallows the air, broken only by the muffled ticking of the kitchen clock. For a moment, she swears she hears the violin again, but the park outside is empty. Marina slams the diary shut, the sharp sound echoing in the apartment. She stares at the fogged-up window, where rain traces jagged lines. The weight of those words chokes her, as if time has folded in on itself. There's no context, just the certainty that something has been watching her for too long. The clock reads 7:47 p.m. and everything feels aligned. But for what? The diary's pages are cold, almost alive under her fingers. Marina tries to recall how she got here, but her mind is a haze. The violin, the park, the soft dirt under her nails, it all blurs together. Outside, a reflection flickers in the window pane, but it's not hers. The diary's final sentence pulses in her mind, a warning she read too late. Marina steps back, the floorboards creaking under her bare feet. The envelope that came with the diary sits on the table, sealed with red wax. She hasn't opened it yet, but she knows she can't ignore it. The sound of the violin now seems to come from inside the house. A distant whisper cuts through the silence, as if someone knows she's listening. And then, everything goes quiet. For now. The diary slips from her hands, falling open on the floor. Marina fixes her eyes on the window, where the rain has stopped, but the reflection remains. She doesn't move, doesn't breathe, waiting for something she can't explain. The diary's last sentence lingers in the air, an invitation or a trap. And somewhere the violin keeps playing, calling her to what lies beyond the half-open door. You're in Tales of the Watcher, where fates are glimpsed, not told, and every step you take is seen by eyes you'll never meet. The air hums with secrets, daring you to listen. Stick around, subscribe for the journey, and in today's story, Marina, 29, wakes to the smell of burnt coffee in the cramped kitchen of her apartment. She's a data analyst, with thin-framed glasses and brown hair always tied in a loose bun, someone who blends in but notices everything. The way her neighbor shuffles their slippers, the hum of the fridge. This morning, though, something's off. A high-pitched sound, like a violin, drifts through the open window. The park across the street is empty, its trees still under the grey light. She hesitates, but the sound stops, leaving only the ticking of the wall clock. The day starts like any other. Marina checks emails, her tired face reflected on the laptop screen. She's methodical, but carries an unease she can't name, as if waiting for something unknown. As she heads downstairs, she notices a new mail carrier, his uniform too big, delivering letters. He leaves an envelope with no return address in her mailbox, sealed with red wax. Marina picks it up, a chill running through her, as if the paper knows something she doesn't. Outside, a sharp wind carries the faint scent of wet earth, though it hasn't rained in days. Marina walks to the bus stop, but her eyes keep drifting to the park. The violin plays again, clearer now, a melody that feels familiar but slips from memory. An old man at the bus stop mutters about ghost music before chuckling to himself. Marina forces a smile, but her fingers tighten around the envelope in her bag as if it might answer her. At work, the office is a sea of noise, keyboards, muffled conversations, the buzz of fluorescent lights. Marina tries to focus, but the violin's sound lingers in her mind, like a radio out of tune. On impulse, she opens the envelope, finding a single note. Follow the sound, but don't look back. The handwritten words in black ink seem to smudge under her fingers. For a moment, everything falls silent. until the phone rings, breaking the spell. Marina tucks the note away, her heart racing as she glances out the office window. The park, visible in the distance, looks darker, as if the trees are hiding something. She tries to laugh off her paranoia, but the note's weight in her bag is real. The mail carrier, the violin, the words, they feel connected, but in a way she can't yet grasp, and when the office clock hits 7:47 a.m. she feels a void, as if time is waiting for her. Marina can't shake the note, its words, "Follow the sound but don't look back," etched like an echo. During her lunch break, she walks to the park, the cold air biting her cheeks. The violin plays again, slower now, almost a lament from the trees. She pauses at the entrance, her feet sinking into damp grass, and notices an empty bench with something odd. A single strand of red hair caught in the wood. Marina's brunette, and no one was there moments ago. Back at work, she tries to convince herself it's just a coincidence. But as she opens a spreadsheet, the screen flickers, and for a second, it shows a date, October 7th, 2 days away. Marina blinks and the screen returns to normal, but her stomach churns. She thinks of the note, the hair, the violin, and starts seeing patterns where there was only chaos before. The sound isn't just a sound anymore, it's a call, and she's beginning to hear it. After work, a co-worker, Tom, casually mentions seeing a weird mail carrier lingering near the building. He laughs, but says the man seemed to be watching the windows, as if looking for someone. Marina feels a shiver, thinking of the red wax envelope. She checks her bag. The note's still there, but now there's a smudge of dirt on the edge, as if touched by grimy hands. The violin plays faintly, and she swears it's coming from the park. That night at home, Marina sees a news report on TV. A minor accident in the park, a branch that fell and nearly hit a jogger. The date on the screen is October 5th today, but the reporter says the park will be closed until the 7th. Marina's pulse quickens. The date from the spreadsheet. She grabs the note again, and the ink looks darker, almost alive. The violin sounds closer, as if it's just outside her window. Marina stands still, staring at the park through the fogged-up window. The reflection in the glass shows only her face, but something feels off, like the edges are blurred. She tries to ignore it, but the violin's sound pulses in her ears, mingling with the clock's ticking. The note on the table feels heavier, as if hiding something she hasn't seen yet. And at 7:47 p.m. the silence tightens, as if the world knows what's coming. Marina wakes on October 6 to the clock reading 7:47 a.m., the ticking louder, as if counting down. She barely slept. The violin haunted her dreams, mixed with images of churned earth and red hair. The park is closed today, but an urge pulls her toward it. The note, now crumpled in her bag, feels like it's burning her hands. She knows time is running out. But for what? Outside, the wind blows harder, carrying the smell of wet leaves. Marina walks to the park's entrance, where a loose, yellow caution tape flaps in the breeze. The violin plays, sharp and clear, from somewhere among the trees. She ducks under the tape and steps in, her feet sinking into soft dirt. Then she sees it, a small patch of overturned earth, as if someone dug in a hurry, and the violin stops. Abruptly. Marina kneels, her hands shaking as she touches the soil. Her fingers find something hard, a diary, old, with cracked leather binding. She opens it and the first page bears a date, October 7th, tomorrow. The next words freeze her. Marina, you're already here. Her name, handwritten in the same black ink as the note. The air grows heavy and a branch snaps behind her, but remembering the note, she doesn't look back. Back in her apartment, Marina locks the door, the diary on the table like a ticking bomb. The red wax envelope, still unopened, seems to pulse beside it. She reads the diary's early pages, Descriptions of days she hasn't lived but feel familiar. The mail carrier, the red hair, the park accident. Then a twist. The diary mentions a she who watches, someone who knows more than Marina. Whoever wrote this has been where she is now. The clock hits 7:47 p.m., and the silence is shattered by a sharp sound at the door. 3 slow knocks. Marina freezes, the diary open, the envelope untouched. The violin starts again, low, as if from the hallway. She wants to scream, but her voice won't come. Something's changed. What she thought was paranoia is now real, and the next step lies beyond that door. But what or who waits on the other side? Marina doesn't sleep. The diary lies open on the table, its pages smelling of earth and secrets. The knocks at the door stopped, but the silence that followed is worse, as if something lingers outside. She finally tears open the red wax envelope with nervous fingers. Inside, a train ticket to a town she's never heard of, dated October 7th, 7:47 p.m. Marina feels the floor shake beneath her, as if fate is pushing her out. She flips through the diary again, searching for answers. The final pages describe a red-haired woman, someone who plays the violin to guide the lost. Marina recalls the strand of hair on the park bench and feels a chill. The kitchen clock hits 7:47 a.m., and the violin's sound returns, so clear, it seems to come from inside the apartment. She runs to the window, but the park is empty, except for a silhouette vanishing among the trees. Marina decides to go to the train station, the ticket burning in her hand. On the way, she passes a street mirror, and her reflection seems to hesitate, as if it's not quite following her. At the station, an old man, the same one from the bus stop days ago, stares at her and mutters, "You shouldn't go." She ignores him, but his words echo the diary. The train's whistle sounds in the distance, and Marina feels she has to board. On the platform, a new envelope appears in her pocket, identical to the first but sealed with black wax. She doesn't know how it got there, and her hands shake as she holds it. The diary, now in her bag, feels heavier, as if carrying the weight of choices she hasn't made. The violin plays a final, long, sad note as the train approaches. Marina boards, unsure if she's fleeing or running toward what awaits. When the train starts moving, Marina looks out the window and sees the park in the distance, now lit by a faint, almost unreal light. The black wax envelope sits in her lap, unopened, but she knows she'll have to face it soon. The diary, the ticket, the violin, all point to a destination she doesn't understand, but can't avoid. And at 7:47 p.m., as the train cuts through the darkness, she feels someone, somewhere, is still listening. Marina is on the train, the black wax envelope untouched in her lap, as the city lights fade from the window. The diary, now closed, seems to pulse in her bag, as if it still has something to say. The violin's sound no longer follows her, but its absence is almost as unsettling as its presence. She glances at the reflection in the glass, and for a moment she swears she sees a strand of red hair caught on the seat beside her. The train sways, and the world outside is just darkness, as if her fate is being written now. Marina's watch reads 7:47, and time seems to fold in on itself. She thinks of the mail carrier, the note, the diary, and the red-haired woman she's never seen, but who seems to know her. Every choice she made, entering the park, opening the envelope, boarding the train, feels like part of a plan that isn't hers. The black wax envelope, sealed tight, is the final piece, but she still lacks the courage to open it. And in the silence of the carriage, she feels someone, somewhere, knows what's inside. The scenery outside shifts, and Marina sees a rain-blurred sign, the name of the town from the ticket. The train slows, and the diary's weight in her bag grows, as if it wants to stay. She wonders if the violin was a warning or an invitation, if the red-haired woman was real, or just an echo of something she's lost. The black envelope feels colder now, as if it's been waiting for this moment. And for an instant, everything goes quiet, until the train's whistle pierces the night. Marina steps onto the platform, the envelope in her hand, the diary in her bag, and the void of the unknown ahead. The station is deserted, save for a flickering lamp casting long shadows. She doesn't know if she's at the start or the end, if she followed the sound or was led by it. The wind blows, carrying a faint smell of wet earth, and Marina takes her first step, unsure of where it leads. But somewhere, the violin plays one last note, so soft that perhaps only she can hear it. And so, Marina walks toward what lies beyond the light, where answers may never come. What she found in the diary, the envelope, the train, might just be the beginning of something bigger, something even she can't see. But one thing is certain: the sound never lies, even when silence speaks louder. Whoever plays the violin is still out there, waiting. This is Tales of the Watcher, where shadows tell what eyes can't see.